welcome back to PÖFF TV. I'm Miia, and we're right in the heart of the Black Nights Film Festival. Today, I have three amazing guests joining me who worked behind the film Sad Inheritance. So I have the directors Aranya Sen and Sergei Batrak and actor Pääru Oja. Hi, hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How are you?
Perfect.
Good. So, what inspired you to create Sad Inheritance?
Okay, so the main thing is I was always trying to figure out how honest I should be, because like it's a public sort of a platform, this interview. But in the end, I think it's fine. It doesn't matter. The film is very personal, definitely, and it's something we both worked on. It was born out of thesis. So it's definitely about physical abuse and generational trauma and how it sort of transmits from one generation to the other. But the aftermath is shown in this film, not the sort of misery. And it comes from my own childhood. Although me and my father, we share a sort of let's just say a lovable relationship right now. We didn't have that in the past. In my childhood, I was physically abused after my mom had died. So the work was a sort of a self-analysis that we wanted to do in our graduate film. We thought that that's the most honest approach that we could take. I was a theater actor for 7 years in my childhood, and I also was involved in direction in theater. I used to work with, his name is Gautam Haldar. He used to teach me, he's one of India's very renowned theatricians. And that sort of inspired to take this theater angle, and that's how this film was born. And we he wanted to do a stop motion film, but that didn't happen because we thought, let's not do a stop motion film, let's use the school's resources. And we came up with this script, and thankfully we had him and everyone on board.
Yeah, theater came much later on in the development. First we had the similar topics, but they were set in a completely different surroundings, and then my interest in theater and Arno's background in theater influenced the fact that we chose this setting, plus the connections that I had in the Vene theater, and it all kind of was the only way. So yeah, theater is a big influence and a big inspiration, I would say, from here.
All right. So how did you come to be involved in this project, and what drew you to this role?
It was actually my father who dragged me into this. But no, at one point I think they had casted another guy for the role, but something happened, and so my father asked me that if I could do it, and I was able to. Yeah.
All right. Perfect coincidences then.
Yeah,
I
no,
guess.
it's always. We worked with my father in the same theater for a long time, but we haven't played together for a while. And now I had the chance, so it was. Yeah.
Nice. So, could you maybe discuss some challenges that came up during filming, and how did you overcome them?
I mean, the biggest challenge was definitely the location. That we had a problem with. We wanted something with a lot of grandeur involved. So firstly, we wanted theater in itself.
Yeah.
So we wanted the Vene theater.
The big stage.
The big stage. Yeah, we wanted the big stage of the Vene theater, and we wanted Pääru's role also, Eric, his role to be one of a bit more assertive and, like a more grandiose sort of a role. But obviously we didn't get the theater because dates were clashing, a lot of problems with management as well. So we had to focus on a smaller room. And that's when the story also we changed our script a bit. Thankfully we changed it with him also. He's very much involved in the script making process. So that sort of helped us, and I believe it happened for the best. And we could condense our film into what's important. Before there was a lot of philosophical flabbergasting. So, and that was removed entirely. So, yeah, BFM called our work like a unpretentious sort of a work, and that sort of happened because of this process that we had. The location didn't work, rewriting the script and everything, so that helped.
Yeah. So, what was the collaborative process between you two, because two directors, very interesting, and also between the actors and you. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I can start and then Pääru can continue. I was, and also Sergei, I was thinking that basically we were sort of like improving our collaboration as it went on. Of course, we are students as well.
Yeah.
So I would say I was a bit more involved with Pääru, obviously, from the beginning, because it's a sort of a role that was closer to me. And especially when I saw the film at this moment where he talks to Tino, his father, I got reminded of my own childhood. So these sort of sensitivities and things I wanted to work on. So I was doing it with Pääru, and he was also working with the actors. Yeah, we had sort of a flexible sort of a work method, but also something that can be improved in the future, obviously, because we're still very going through the process. Yeah. But you can.
Yeah. So no, it was good because. I think there's always sometimes when you do films with people who are still students, they might have a really concrete and something fixed in their head, but the thing that we did, I think we found it together in a sense. Yeah, then that's a big and important thing, and yeah.
I think this collaboration helped us to break down and find the most important thing in the film and cut down a lot of unnecessary some cover that we couldn't see before we met actors. That in the heads and on the paper it's one, and then you bring in, of course, film is a collaborative and collective work, so you need to to count with other inputs and other views on it as well. So it's I think
Yeah, nice. So really evolved.
Really
Yeah.
evolved, yeah.
That's nice. So what do you hope audiences take away from this film?
Okay, my view is that this was for me, I still don't consider it as a film per se. It was a work of self-analysis.
Yeah.
Through working with Pääru, through the script, I was sort of analyzing all my sort of things in childhood, and there are many versions to this, to the fact of physical abuse. The first version is that how normalized it is, sort of. That in my society, it's not called physical abuse at all. It's just called a part of growing up. You thrash your child, you beat him up. That's just a... So in my strongest perception, I believe you cannot change a generation completely with this film, sort of.
Yeah.
But you can spark a sort of dialogue. You can spark certain people sort of understanding the nature of generational trauma. Let's just say, even if they don't understand the nature of abuse, they should understand the nature of generational trauma. So this was important for me, and whether we succeeded or failed, this is really up to people. But this is way more important to me than festivals, more important to me than anything, is that the aftermath is seen. And I still believe that, to me, when I saw the film, especially the moment where Pääru and Tino, Eric and Igor, they have the conversation in the end, that's the point of me where I sort of remember my past very well. And that's the point I usually break down the most. So that's strong for me, and I believe I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah, so the impact is what
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is important for you. Yeah. So how did you feel portraying this strained father-son relationship with your own father?
I took it from real life. No, I didn't. My father has never beaten me. No. But that's the... no, I think even never. I think never even slapped. I can't remember anything. But yeah, well, it was an interesting subject, definitely.
So
No.
how did you prepare for this role, if at all?
Well, we read,
Well,
we discussed,
yeah.
and then you have
Okay.
to memorize the lines. Yeah, well, but it's well, yeah. You use your imagination. How
All
it
right.
would be that if you would be. That's the.
All right.
we had some boxing practice also meanwhile
Yeah.
on the theater.
I was doing a boxing play in Pärnu. Yes,
Oh.
yes. So I have, yeah. It was about to. When did we? No, I think it premiered after it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were having rehearsals.
Yeah, I had to. Yeah.
All right. So, what kind of feedback have you received so far, and has it impacted your view on your work, or?
The best feedback I think you can have is when you watch it in the audience and you could hear people around you. This is, I think, one of the most inspirational things, and I was really relieved when we watched it in the national competition and we heard people giggling at the certain points which were meant for giggling, and people were like reacting. You could feel the audience in the place, and I think it was quite right.
We had also gotten like a huge. We of course have good critics, and we have critics who like the film. We have critics who don't. Anton Dolin, the Russian film critic now living in Latvia, he likes the film. He said that it's Nordic Bergman style, although I don't know what that means. But we also had a critical review of our film in film school. I don't remember the name of the person. I apologize for that. But but it was very well written as well. And now, sort of looking at it very differently, there are certain aspects of the screenplay and sort of the motive of Eric in the very end to actually stand up and tell his father, confront his father. This sort of motive that was perhaps, let's say, lacking is something we could have done. But of course, there are a lot of could have dones in the film that didn't happen. But apart from that, as he said in the audience, it was really nice to see how people reacted, especially after the screening as well. For some people, it's a very important narrative, and I think it makes me feel good.
All right. So, what are your next steps as filmmakers?
Do more movies.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I mean, we are sort of now in the festival distribution phase, but already we are discussing next things, and I'm doing some script development on my own. Arna is also figuring stuff out, so we are gonna keep doing them with the context we have.
But short films.
Yeah.
Short films for a while until we have in plain words, until we have the balls to make a feature film. Because it's not something you should pretend to be doing so early. I think we still have to master short films.
Thank you guys so much for coming and sharing some insights into your short film. And it was very interesting. So thank you for tuning into PÖFF TV, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.